Alright, people, I'm back. Tales from the Pen, part 16. Ooh, tough. If you're new to the channel, please go down and hit subscribe. It's right there on the bottom right there in front of your screen. Boom. And make sure, because a lot of people, when I end up going live, a lot of people don't get to see the notifications. That's because, people, what you have to do is, on the notification, you hit the bell, and then there's an all. As soon as you hit the bell, it'll say all. Click all. And now every time I'm live, every time I do something, every time I upload something, you will get an alert. So please, hit subscribe, hit the bell, boom, done. For those who are new to the channel, my name is Fred. I'm from Queens, and I talk about my experiences on Rikers Island in the 80s. And I talk about my life in the penitentiary. You know, altogether I was in 9 different facilities. And I don't do it in a glorification kind of way, as I say in every single video. You know what I mean? Because, you know, as I explained, a lot of people, since I've been 13, dudes been coming home and glorifying shit. You know what I mean? I said that in a lot of videos too. Every time from 13, 14, dudes come home and they act like prison was nothing. And I'm here to tell you that's a lie. You know what I'm saying? Prison is a war zone. Prison is like, you know, again, I'm not going to equate it to Beirut or Afghanistan, but it's like it's a war zone in there. You know what I mean? And if you don't want to be a part of that war zone, then don't be a part of it. Try to listen, take heed to what I say. You know, that's what my channel is based on. That's it. I do this for the kids. I know a lot of my demographics are people from all over the world. And I know a lot of them are adults, and I get it. And I know people like to hear the stories, and I understand that. But, you know, when I first started this, basically it was for the kids. Because, like I said, I've been doing this 20-something years, speaking to kids. Junior high schools, Brooklyn Borough Hall, CUNY Law. You know what I mean? So, this is who I do it for. That's the truth. So, today we're going to talk a few things. Right? Number one is, if you go back to my law edition several months ago, because a lot of people have been hitting me on my DMs about the Tekashi kid again, right? And they were like, Fred, you were right. Of course I was right. Of course I was right. Did you think they were going to give that kid a lot of time? Then what's the encouragement for the next rats? What's the encouragement for the next person to tell? Because a lot of people are telling. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are telling. Like I said, people are actually videoing their crimes and stuff like that. Here, I like to reiterate these kind of points, people. The feds watch every single video, man. The cops watch every single video of certain substance. It's a fact. There's a whole like how they have a sex crimes unit, they have a murder unit, they have homicide unit, whatever. They have a robbery unit. They have internet unit that they just sit in front of the computers and they watch dudes and they listen to what they say and they chart everything. Right? Tekashi was doing a lot of that, right? He was talking crazy on the internet. You know what I mean? As if only certain people were going to see it. No. So I knew when it happened, and when he started to do his snitching thing. Hey, listen, he did what he had, what he felt, right? Will there be repercussions behind it? Who knows? But I guess, people, I definitely called that. He got 2 years. He'll be out at the end of this year. You know, it is what it is. You didn't think he was going to tell and then they were going to give him them 30, 40 years, right? Well, that doesn't make sense. Because, again, like I said, they're not done with him. They're not done. You know, once you're in their pocket, they got you forever. True story. So, again, yes, people, 100%. To everybody who hit me and told me I was right, I knew that was going to happen. Sometimes you can see the future in certain people. You know what I mean? You can see the destiny, man. Now, do I know what's going to happen to him? No. I said probably he's going to come home, make music, and people are going to mess with him. That's my prediction. But who knows, you know? But let's get this wrong. Let's not get this wrong, people. There are a lot of Tekashis out here. There are a lot of them, man. They're all over the place. There's rats everywhere, man. And there's rats in prison, too. Let's not get this wrong. Let's not get this wrong. You know, some rats, you know, they see a rowdy dude come in their house, come in their block, they dropping kites. That's what that's letters. We call them kites in the penitentiary. They dropping kites to the DAP. They dropping kites to the captain. Hey, this guy here is doing this. This guy here is extorting people. This guy here, just to get him out of here, because he's a problem. It's a fact. So there's rats everywhere you go. Not just the rodent ones, the mice. I mean, real, you know, people. It's a fact. It's crazy. Today I want to talk a little bit about how a rumor could get you killed. How a rumor could get you in trouble without having all the facts. Because sometimes in there, and this is what I learned, even coming home, because I've done, you know, been in a couple things, I've been home too as well. Because I came home and I still have that same prison mentality. It's still hard to get away from me, even all these years later. But when you have a certain prison mentality, you just don't let anything go by. I'm learning now because, again, my kids and, you know, I have kids and everything, it's not worth it. But, you know, when you have a certain mentality, you just react. You don't really think about the consequences at that time. You just react because that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you've been taught to do. So I'm going to tell you a quick story. So I was cool with this dude, right? We're just going to call him, we'll call him T. Me and T was like this, okay? T was on the other side of the jail I was in. I ain't even going to talk about the jail. I ain't even going to talk about, you know what I mean? I change names, it's what I do. I was in the other side of the jail. So dudes came to me, yo, Fred, you know, your boy went to the box. Excuse me. I'm like, what happened? They're like, you know, two dudes try to jump him. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, they try to jump him in the bathroom. But your boy, you know, T, he had a knife. And he poked one of them, or maybe both. But he definitely poked one. And the other one ran out the bathroom. Police ran up in the bathroom. They got the two, you know, they got my boy T and the kid he poked. He didn't really get him that good, but he got him a little bit. But the other kid ran out the bathroom. He got away. I'm like, what? He got away? Oh, no. Now, people, keep in mind, this was 20-something years ago, 20 years ago. So I don't want this to be held against me now like I just did it yesterday. So I'm like, what? Went to the yard. Seen the kid. The kid came down. He was with a group of 4 or 5 others hanging out by the weights. So I had everything set up. I had my boy Steve waiting there by the television, right where these guys were. And the plan was for me to go up, do what I got to do. I had a brand new rug cutter. For those who know what the rug cutter is, it's like this, and then, you know, it has like it's not the square one. It's just boom, bang, boom. Brand new rug cutter. So I'm like, what? Okay, set everything up nice. So the plan was for me to go, do what I got to do, pass to my boy. We'll call him Steve. Shout out to Steve. That was the plan. So everybody took their places. Steve went over by the TV. I walked up, gave it to him. When he turned around and looked at me, blood spurting already everywhere. I said, that's for, I said T. We'll just use it to his name as T. All his boys dispersed. Everybody ran. He did too. So I turned around and immediately went to pass it to Steve. Steve froze on me. Steve looked like he saw a ghost. Saw my kids. Steve literally froze and was in shock. Steve did not move. I'm like, Steve, here. And he literally was like, he said, like how I'm looking at you now? He was like a zombie. I said, oh shit, this dude, it's like he went into shock. You know, went over by where dudes was playing soccer. I knew the goalie. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna drop this right here. He was like, go ahead. I dropped it. He picked it up. So, you know, I'm walking. The dude tried to run up on me. True story. But I also knew if I'm sitting there fighting with him, I'm getting blamed for what's going on his face right now. So I'm like, yo, what you doing? What you doing? The police jumped in. They broke it up. I'm like, I don't know this dude from a hole in the wall. I don't know what happened. And I thought he was going to be thorough and hold it down. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew the kid from, 90, 91, 92 when I was in CAXA. I knew him. And he was cool with some of my other people, but, it is what it is. That's how it goes in there. So they immediately grabbed him, snatched him up out of there. They, they thought he was going to die. Because on my ticket, it said on his deathbed, he thought he was going to die. So they told him he was going to die as a possibility. The wound went all the way from around here all the way around to his neck, and I just missed his jugular by 1/8 of an inch, they said. So they come and snatch me up. They snatched me up already, took me to the box. Now when I'm in the box, my boy T is already there. He's like, what happened? Down the T, I'm like, we'll talk about it. I don't know what happened. Later on that night, they come. They brought the kid. I was in the medium. So they brought the kid to the same box. They put him in protective custody. About 2 a.m, they come to my cell, open it. Took me up front. State police came and they wanted to rearrest me. So they asked me, it's 2 white guys. So, they tried to play the race card with me. We understand. We understand how it is in here for a white guy. In my mind, I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. So they tell me, listen, man. But the funny thing is, when I walked in, my name was on a big pad. And it said attempt murder in big letters. Like, when I walked in, I seen it on the table. That's what they do. They try to play little games with you. So I'm like, okay. So they're like, what happened? I said, I don't know what happened. You know what I mean? I have no clue what happened. Dude, I said, you bleeding? The police ran up on me. They're like, I don't know. They said, listen. If we find out you did it, we come back in here and you see us again, you're getting a new charge. You're going to get 8 1/3 of 25. But if you just tell us what happened, explain to us what happened, we'll write it off and you'll never see us again. I said, so what you're telling me is, if I tell you I did it, you're going to walk away and that's it. They say yes. I said, I don't know nothing. I don't know anything. Fine. Took me back to my cell. Never heard from him again. So the next morning, my boy, he got his hour rec. And he came down to my cell. And he's like, yo, what happened? I said, I handled that. You know what I mean? He was like, bro. Then he told me the story. He said that him and the kid that he actually hit, who happened to be in the next cell next to me, got into an argument. And the kid that he hit told him, go get your gun. Now in there, as I've explained before, knives, shanks, whatever it is, any kind of weapon is your gun. You know what I'm saying? Preferably, sometimes they call bone crushers, where they're just big brolic, and that's what they do. They crush bones, right? So when someone says, go get your gun, that means like, go get your weapon. He said, so he told me, go get my gun. So I went and got my gun. He thought I was bullshit. He said when I seen him walking, he was walking by the bathroom, him and the kid that I ended up getting into it with. He said they were both walking by the bathroom. I just threw them both in the bathroom. He said when I pulled that thing out, I hit him. He said the other kid just ran out the bathroom. He didn't even touch me. He had nothing to do with it. I just threw him in the bathroom because he was walking with him. True story, man. I feel fucked up for that. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. You know, I'm like, dudes came and told me that this guy tried to jump you. That he was doing all that. They were like, man, nobody was in that bathroom but us three. That kid ran. I'm like, oh my God, you know, and to be honest, I felt bad. And to be honest, me and dude, you know what I'm saying, a few days later, whatever, he actually came to my cell, brought me books. Because he understood the situation. Not saying that, you know what I'm saying, if I ain't, you know what I mean, it's not, whatever it is, what it is. But he understood the situation. He understood that other dudes, you know, were lying and put that in my head. And I did what I did. He was like, I would have did the same thing. He was like respectful of the game. As crazy as that sounds on my kids. But it just goes to show you how rumor could get you killed. Or acting on something that you think that you know the whole story, but you really don't. Now, again, I don't do this in the glorification kind of way. I'm just telling you the shit that happens in the penitentiary. Somebody can spread a rumor about you. You don't know nothing about it. You don't know nothing that's going on. And you can get your ass killed. You can get your ass cut. You can get, you know, shit thrown in your face and you never see again in your life. All because of a rumor. But I say this to say that, you know, when you put yourself in those situations, these are the type of things that happen, man. I got the ticket that next day and it's, you know, it said clearly that he told them that I did it. I called him to the tier hearing. I called him. I'm like, listen, I'm going to put you down as a witness. He said, okay. Sometimes they'll put you in the same room with that person, and then sometimes it pops off. Then they know that that's, you know, it's a lie, that this guy's going to lie for you. But they kept us separate. They called him to the tier. They called me. I called him as a witness. They brought me back to my cell, brought him up there. I had the tape. On the tape, he said, I'm not sure if it was him. They said, but clearly you said it was him. He said, well, I seen a white hand come across my face. That's what he said. I seen a white hand. And because he seen a white hand, they convicted me of that. Gave me a year loss of everything. Lost a good time, loss of commissary packages, phones, everything. That's why a lot of people don't understand. Like sometimes, you know, dudes is in jail and they got 20, 25 in life and they got nothing to lose. They're still chilling though. Because what happens is you lose everything. Like especially if you're in the max and you got a TV in your cell, you're getting trailer visits. You know, every 90 days your wife is coming up. You guys are going in the trailer for 2-3 days. You know, some facilities every 45 days, every 60 days. It depends. You know what I mean? So dudes is doing their bids. Sometimes you don't want to have to disrupt all that by doing dumb shit. But I disrupted all of that. You know what I'm saying? I disrupted all that. And again, I don't say what I say to let everybody know I'm gang. Nah, I'm not gangster. That was stupid. I was dumb. You know what I'm saying? But again, false rumors, you know, and things like that could get you killed. Or make you have to do something. Because, you know, that was my boy. So now if that was true and they try to jump him and this kid's just walking around population, everybody going to look at me and be like, man, this dude's soft. I ain't never been soft, man. Nowhere ever have I been soft. There's nobody that's been with me. You got dudes, commenting on my page, talking about I was a dope fiend and all that. I ain't never been a dope. I would have no problem saying I never used dope in my life. I always been the same, had the same mentality, always. Anybody that's been with me, nobody that's been with me could comment and say Fred was a sucker, man. Everybody would say the same thing. Fred was a cool dude, man. That's what they gonna say. Anybody that was been with me. People who ain't been with me, they can say what they want to say. They don't know me. But to you kids out there, when you put yourself in these type of situations, this is the shit that could happen to you, man. False rumors get people killed. False rumors get people new charges. False rumors get people box time. It's a fact. I didn't want to have to live my life like that, but that's just the way it goes, man. That's just the way it is. But if you don't put yourself in those situations, you will not be faced with these problems, man. Jail's a problem, man. Again, people tell me my whole life before I even heard no jail anything. Oh, it's nothing. It's good. You go in there. It's a fucking lie. They lying. Ain't nothing cool about jail, man. There's nothing cool about the penitentiary, and I can't express that shit enough, man. I can't express it enough. I don't know how, more passionate I could be about it, man. It sucks, man. The food sucks. The police suck. You got to duck everything. You got to, duck people cutting, stabbing. You have to duck everything. You got to know how to maneuver. You got to know how to maneuver. And if you don't know how to maneuver, you're in trouble. It's a fact. And you get in trouble. It's just the way it is. It's not just people who are in gangs get in trouble or people who, it's regular motherfuckers that get in trouble too. Don't put yourself in that situation. This is the point I'm always trying to get across to people, man. Don't put yourself in these type situations. Obviously, all these years later, I look back on it and I'm like, wow, what a dumbass for a bunch of shit that I did. What a dumbass. But when you're in there, it's just the way it is. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is. It's a world within a world. And anybody that's been in there understands that, man. And understands the pain and the emotions that I'm talking with. To that kid, I apologized then to him. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he acted like everything was good. But, I know it is what it is. And there's a few people out here walking around that will look in the mirror every day and understand, and think of me. I know that because of dumb shit that I did. You know what I'm saying? I know that. And I hate it. But it was what I felt I had to do at that time. Instead of being in high school, instead of doing college, instead of having a real job, starting a family early in life, I was in there, man. It's crazy. And that's how I live my life. But I'm trying to live my life different now. I'm trying to be a whole different person. I'm trying to bring this positivity to the world. And I see I got, almost 8,500 subscribers now. My Lord. Salute to all my subscribers, man. And all my supporters. I appreciate the love. That's real shit. From all over the world. Some dude wrote me from Denmark. Another dude wrote me that he's actually in jail with a cell phone. Like he could, a smuggled in cell phone, and he was typing me on my Instagram. True story. Denmark. Got people from, all over the place. Germany, Europe. Salute to everybody that's watching, man. And I appreciate the support. I'm trying to live my life different. I'm trying to live my dash different. Let me explain. I must live my dash. Everyone must live your dash. You know what live your dash means, people? I'm gonna explain it to you right now. And when I did my mom's eulogy, rest in peace. You know, I always speak of my mom, love my mom. Rest in peace to my dad, you know, my step pops, everybody. But I did my mother's actual eulogy, and I spoke upon this. You know what I mean? Because before she died, me and her had a conversation. And she told me, you know what? I live my dash. You know what live your dash means, people? I'm gonna explain it to you. When you go to a cemetery, right? You see somebody's tombstone, right? What do you see? You see their name, right? You see the year they were born. You see the year they died. And you see what in the middle? You see a dash. That's what you see. You see the year they were born. You see a dash, and you see the year that they died. That dash actually represents your life. That dash actually represents who you are as a person and what you did in life. You with me? People are nodding your head. I hope you're nodding your head. You with me? So that dash represents who you are, man. That dash represents what have you done with your life. You know, as people, we all have regrets in life. You know, my mom died and she had regret, but she told me, Fred, I lived my life. I traveled. I raised kids. I have grandkids. Like, you guys are good. I've lived my life. I've lived my dash. And this is what I want everybody to do. I want everybody to live their dash, but try to do it in a positive way. I don't want my dash to be remembered as you know, something on my tombstone, you know, where if it was broken down to words, if that dash could be broken down into words, where it would say jailbird, convict, felon, loser. Somebody who never did nothing in life. Somebody who never helped anybody. Somebody who caused destruction. Somebody who, again, was a loser. Somebody who was a jailbird. Somebody who never did anything with his life. Somebody who never had anything positive going on. Somebody always surrounded by turmoil. No. That's not what I want. That's not what I ever wanted. But I did it. I lived a certain life. Stupid life. And this is why I'm here now talking to you people. I'm trying to do something positive with that dash. I don't want to be remembered as that convict. Or just for somebody who went to jail. Because that's what people look at me. A lot of people look at me who don't know nothing about these videos and know me. And all they think about is, you know, the bad shit. It's a fact. But I brought that upon myself. I did it to me. I got nobody to blame but me. People, live your dash. But try to do it in a positive way. You know, I have people writing me, you know, talking about they're in recovery. And they've been in recovery a year or two. And they appreciate, you know, some of the words that I say to them. And I've never been into drugs in my life. But what I say to them is, you can use your experience to help others. Anybody out there in recovery, you can use your experience. Like my sister Tiffany Jenkins. Shout out to Juggling the Jenkins. You can use your experience to help others. And then when you start helping others, you feel good about yourself and your life will change. When you start doing positive things, your life will change. When you're feeling good about who you are, your life will change. Live your dash, people. Live your dash. And on that note, we coming up on a half hour here. You know, I get long-winded, people. You know how I get down. So we're gonna shut this down right now. People, I know I keep saying it. Live your dash. Be remembered for something positive. Be remembered for something good. And to everybody, I love you guys, and I really, really appreciate all the support I've been getting. You know, YouTube don't even monetize half my videos. They say some of them is too graphic, some of them is too... So half my stuff is not even monetized. I just do this to do this. I just do this to try to help. It makes me feel good. It's a fact. So again, people, I appreciate the support from all over the world. And if you're new, hit that subscription button so you can hear more of me. I'm going to start some interviews soon. Like I said, probably this week. I got a few things lined up. Shout out to my man Nate Dogg. He's coming. Shout out to my man Warpath out there on the lockout. You know, on the lockout fam. You know what I mean? Shout out to my homie. And I got a few other things. I'm trying to get a few people on here. I even got a corrections officer lined up. Oh, yeah, I do. He was a corrections officer for 17 years in Indiana State Penitentiary. He wants to do a little something with me. Hey, let's do it. So, you know, I'm gonna start. Everybody knows my story. Everybody knows what I do. Now, the next phase of this is going to be starting to do interviews. People from all over the world, too, just for the record. Not just, you know, here in the United States. I got people lined up all over the world from the penitentiaries of all over the world. This is where this is going. And I couldn't do this without you guys. I could not do this without you guys. And I appreciate the love and I appreciate the support. And again, experience is the greatest teacher. But somebody else's experience could be just as valuable if you listen. Pay attention. On that note, Fred White, signing off, people.